Hello and good morning. This is video 762. I love that when you take a drink and you have lipstick on and you leave like a little lipstick stain. Um, all the years that I was a little boy and a young man, and I so wanted to wear lipstick and I was so jealous. And now, by golly, I can put on lipstick whenever I want. Of course, you can too. Doesn't matter if you're trans or not. Doesn't matter if you're male, female, non-binary. Just whatever you want to do, go do it. Go do it and enjoy it. That'd be the short of it. Um, but definitely video 762, like I said, this is going to be a little bit about reactions. And first of all, in the last week, I have worn makeup a couple times. Maybe I'm trying to look good for somebody. Just been inspired to be a little more feminine in my approach. I wish I sounded more feminine, but my voice is getting better. It's not as croaky as it was the other day. So this video again, reactions. I've been very cautious. I will admit, because I didn't want to. Sometimes people when you're younger, they kind of flaunt. I'm in a relationship or I'm seeing someone. I start talking, and for years and years and years of being someone who was like depressed, I'm happy for the other person, but I'm kind of suffering over here, so I'm gonna go back in this corner and suffer. You go have fun, I'll go suffer. And so I don't want to be that person who is, oh, I'm in a relationship and oh, isn't this is wonderful, da, da, da. But this week I needed to talk to my co-parent, and I needed to, kind of let them know. Um, I took my daughter. We've counseling. My daughter goes to counsel for other issues other than me. And, you know, I want to make sure I do this right. I want to make sure that I take my daughter's opinion and her welfare and, you know what I'm saying? As a parent, excuse the belch, child comes first. Child comes first, you know. Um, and kind of the reaction that I got was less than stellar from my ex, who said she was very happy for me and she hopes that things work out. But she was very kind of critical of, here I was kind of, and you have to forgive the appearance. Yes, I'm 49 years old, okay, but like we talked about in the last video, I have this inside of me, probably now 14 or 16-year-old girl, young lady, who this is her first time. This is her first time being in a relationship, her first time kissing someone, her first time doing anything, from a psychological point of view, developmental point of view. This is kind of brand new to me to be the woman and, with a man or anybody for that matter. And so, I kind of have training wheels on, for lack of a better word. And, you know, much like you see in the books and the movies, you see the girl, she's infatuated with a guy, or she's imagining, and she writes her name, her name and his last name, Mrs. So and so. I haven't done that yet. Okay. When I feel like it, I'm going to do it though. I want to know. There's a bit of an imagination and, embracing this feeling, embracing what I'm going to say romance. That it's the stuff of fiction. I mean, a romance novel, like I kind of did last time a couple times. I felt my life was so alone, and in walked this handsome stranger who, with a casual glance, looked me over, and I could tell there was something special between us. He asked me for a cup of coffee, and we talked the night through, sharing our deepest emotions and secret, whatever. It's very, very bad romantic fiction there. But, that is the teenage girl, stereotypical take. And so, on the one hand, you want to be careful you don't overassume, overstep, or go too quickly in a relationship. But at the same time, it's really kind of a bad thing to piss on somebody's parade, like, throw water, cold water on a fire that's just starting, and not that I expected, hooray, I'm so excited for you, blah, 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 blah. But it was just kind of such a negative take, and why, when I tell you why, it's going to make a little more sense. Um, I believe that she looks at us as two lesbians. And so she like totally wrote it off as a lesbian thing, and that, don't you know that lesbians, they hook up too fast. Here's my keys to the U-Haul. I just met you, blah, 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 blah. And I just had to ask her, and I just kind of was taken back for a minute. And, you know, for a trans couple, um, in our case, trans, okay, um, you know, I'm assigned male at birth. He is assigned female at birth. Okay. What a piss poor thing to say to somebody that they're just a lesbian couple. And why that doesn't make sense to me. I mean, to begin with, doesn't make sense to me. But you know, on the one hand, they're a trans man, so they're a man. I'm a trans woman. I'm a woman. Therefore, it's man woman. You know, and no matter how you slice it, you're saying, okay, Robin, you're a trans woman, so you're a woman, but you're discounting the trans man, saying, well, it's just a woman. It's a lesbian relationship. And not there's anything bad with lesbian relationships, but it just didn't make any sense to me, you know? And just kind of how negative it sounds. And I wonder if maybe, there's a little bit of, I want to say jealousy, although I don't necessarily know if that's the right word, you know, uh, for a trans couple, for a lesbian couple, okay? For to trans man transitions, and they're no longer a lesbian couple. It's a man and a woman. It's a heterosexual couple, and without, with the assumption, if you will, about binary stuff. Let me wet my whistle here. It comes with all of the accoutrements, bonuses, pluses, quirks, and positive things of a heterosexual couple. The assumption of normality would be one of them, and we could probably talk about that. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but no one questions a man and a woman, um, anywhere. Getting a hotel room, going on a trip, blah 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 blah. In the past, you saw two men or two women, it was, oh, it's a gay couple, blah blah blah. And so, it's again not. I don't believe it's unjustified, but I'm just saying you're becoming a normal heterosexual couple. Okay. Not that that's anybody's business. Um, and so I almost wonder if maybe from their perspective, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was just something that was just wrong. Number one, to just kind of blow it off and say, oh, you know, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not in love. You don't know. You know what you're talking about. And then the second thing was kind of to insult my husband, my boyfriend. My boyfriend, to insult him in that way, in the same way that I was insulted, when I transitioned. And, I'm still dead named by my family. I'm still, You know what I mean? I'm 49 years old. I transitioned when I was 42, so you know, for 7 years I've been dead to my family, and I'm still dead named, and um, bunch of shit. And to share, like I said, to share that with someone um, just didn't seem right. And I don't know. So I thought I would just kind of point that out there as if you're a trans person and you're going to be in a relationship, um, it's something that you might encounter, you know. And there's people who are definitely more. Uh, my friend Dawn, she's definitely is more aware of like terminology and cultural things like turfs and such like that. And so I don't necessarily know if there's a name for it um, or what, but um, just something to kind of be aware of. And it is kind of like pissing on your parade or popping your balloon a little bit, isn't it? Um, but, I guess from an adult, mature point of view, it's not going to keep me from dating. It's not going to keep me from being happy. It's not going to keep me from exploring this side of the relationship. It's not, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a minor setback or a little bit of friction. Excuse me. I got a little princess in my lap. You see my little princess? See your little princess baby. Keep making the video. Okay, it's Princess May. Um, you know what I mean? Life is gonna go on. I'm definitely not gonna stop. It just, like I said, was a little bit of resistance, and you know, again, um, that little 14-year-old girl inside of me. Um, I'm sitting here replaying old tapes in my brain of my sister when she met somebody and going on a date and coming home. It's all stereotypical, it's all storybook stuff, which might be bullshit in of itself. But coming home and getting kissed for the first time and just being so entranced and enamored and just on cloud nine. And I want to I've experienced it firsthand, but I mean that's the dream, right? That's the goal, that's the pursuit. And I've even fantasized, thought about, fantasize sounds like a sexual thing, but thought about, you know, which I think again is normal for every girl. Would I get married? Would I get married in a church? Um, would I wear a wedding dress? Those kinds of things. Um, I've always kind of thought about, sorry, I'm playing with the USB port. Um, like the day of the ceremony, the bride and the sorry, it's my nose. The bride and the her bridesmaids, they go to the beauty salon and they get their nails done and their faces done and picking out bridesmaids dresses. And I mean, to me, that's just like it gets my little, pitter patter my little heart. It gets it going, you know. And I mean, definitely you can make a circus out of it, like some people do with their weddings. The groom and the groomsmen, their tie tuxedos much color coordinate with the, you can definitely go over the deep end with it. And I'm not saying that's what I want to do, but it's just that it's like every girl's inner dream, which may or may not be true. That might be bullshit, but that's my dream. That's Robin's dream. Um, you know, Things that maybe when I got married before, um, you know, uh, I was kept out. The groom doesn't have any say. It's like when you have a baby, it's all about the mom. The dad is just the sperm donor. Um, but anyway, that's probably a whole other video for a whole other time. But you know what I mean? Just that excitement and imagining and things that maybe I've always wanted to feel and experience and explore. Now I kind of have that opportunity, and yeah, don't piss on my parade. Don't pop my balloon. You know, and carry that out and say, well, if it doesn't work out, you're going to be heartbroken. You're going to be, you know, again, stereotypical TV show bullshit. I can't believe he left me for another woman. You know, and that's okay. That's life. That's living. That's part of the journey here. And so I guess I'm excited to look kind of to think a little bit about the future and what it might mean. And maybe there's a danger of jumping the gun a little bit, but can't I dream too? Can't I wonder what it would be like, again to get married, and what would my wedding dress be, and what would it be, and whatnot, or hell, it might be a Star Wars themed wedding. I've got the Jedi robe in my closet over there. We could have stormtroopers and bounty hunters and Mandalorians, and hell, the flower girl could be Yoda. It just doesn't. There's so many different things we could do that would just kind of be fun. A fantasy wedding would also be kind of neat. D&D, wouldn't that be kind of cool? Have like people dressed up as tieflings and elves and dwarves and half orcs and everything. I could have a Warhammer, have a 40K wedding. I'd have Sisters of Battle and Space Marines and members of the Inquisition there to sanctified in the name of the Emperor. I mean, we could go on. I mean, it's passion. You know what I mean? It's a zest for living. It's a zest for life, and I want that. I want that. I'm hungry for it, and I've waited. It's my turn. You know. Um, so anyway, so that's basically just it. Um, again, just kind of a little bit of the reaction. Um, all that aside, and just from a very mature point of view, I would definitely say definitely important to include your child in the discussion. If you're married, or if you're like me, you're the custodial parent. It's not something you want to do alone. Include your child in it because they are part of this life. They are part of your family. And I've known more people than I have fingers, who, when they transitioned, they just turned their back on their family and said, "I'm, fuck you. I'm Mrs. So and so now. Fuck you. I'm Mr. So and so now." And you can't. I don't think that's right. You know. Now that said, there can be compromise. You know, there can be compromise as far as your transition goes, but you know, definitely include and definitely um, prepare yourself and your family. And counseling has been just wonderful. I couldn't have done this on my own, and I couldn't have done this unless I sat down and wrote it out, come up with a plan for my transition, which it's kind of a different subject, my transition roadmap, but get it out of your head, get it on a piece of paper, talk to a counselor, talk to a therapist, and include your family in it. It affects more than just our life; it affects our family's life. And I guess beyond that, expect some resistance from spouses, maybe ex-spouses, or who kind of want to piss on your parade. But anyway, that's the video. I hope that things are going well in your neck of the woods. I can't think of anything else that's going on. It's been a wonderful week as far as the Olympic goes. There's been the trans person, trans woman who lifted the weights. She got to do her thing. She didn't win an award or a medal or anything. Um, she had bad knees or ankles, I think, to begin with, but the fact that she did it, and she had a smile on her face, and she gave the heart, you know, after she did it, she knew she wasn't a medalist, but she did it. She went to the Olympics, and she fulfilled her dream of being a weightlifter. And then just the other day, a Canadian trans person won a medal. And so, uh, we're getting some airplay out there. We're getting some normality, which I think is what we need. We need more visibility and just to show that, we're not freaks of nature, for lack of a better word. We're normal people, and I think it's going to turn the tide in a couple years, maybe in the next election cycle or maybe after that. That you know, the minority, uh, the assumed majority is really a minority that are xenophobic, transphobic people. That's my hope. So on that note, I will end the video here. And thank you for letting me share a little bit about what's going on in my life. And definitely, it's not me bragging. I'm just sharing. Um, this journey is, while we're all different and your mileage may vary. There's some common signposts, some mile markers on this journey, and the goal is always to make it easier for the person who's coming behind you. You know, I think about videos that I watched when I was 20, 21, and how they helped me realize some of my feelings and maybe where I felt differently or the same. It was like, well, gee, they feel that way and I feel that way. It's not that abnormal. So, anyway, if you see me walking around with a pen and a piece of paper and writing, Miss Robin so and so and holding it to my chest, I hope you won't make fun of me. It's okay if you will. Uh, Life's too short not to laugh at things. All right, on that note, I will sign off. Good luck to you in becoming your authentic self, and we'll see you next time.